Oh, there we are. Boy, I need my hair cut bad. I'm just doing a sound check. I charged up the Rode mics. So if you're watching on the replay, this is just a sound check. I'm going to let a couple people come in and let them tell me how they can hear me. Is it good or bad? Three people in the room, three people in the house. I'm doing a test. Just need to see if you guys can hear me. Hey, Nanette. Mary. April, it sounds good. Does it sound better than the mics if you were here earlier, or does it sound about the same? Hey, Kathy Doherty. Jane Rice. Yeah, I'm just doing a little sound test. Mary can hear me. She says it sounds good. Sounds nice and loud. About the same on your end. Okay. Yeah, these are much more expensive than the cheap Amazon mics. Although I've been happy with the cheap Amazon mics. But sometimes they, start crackling. Now these do come with some windshields, but I'm in the house right now. I don't need to put the windshield on. But the windshields are the little fluffy things that fit over the piece, the actual microphone. I can put the windshield over it if it needs. It does sound great the more you blab. Jewel can hear me well. Yeah, I'll watch it back and then I'll compare it to other videos. And this video will have nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie, but if Bruce Davis comes in from the Philippines, which I doubt with the time difference, I need to ask him about something about that. Yeah, it is like a windsock, but they actually call it a windshield. Hey, Karen. They're little black fuzzy things. It looks like a fuzzy caterpillar. And they have a little frame on them so you put the little Wi-Fi piece in the frame, and it's got a charging case just like the other ones. The other ones are like from Amazon. They're like Korean, and I'm usually pretty happy with them, but they break easily and sometimes they start getting crackly. So hopefully, now this one, I can't see that it's on because it's on the side, the little green light. Hey, thanks for the flow state. Very nice. Not necessary, just doing a test, but thank you. T-O-D? Oh, who sent me the trophy? The soccer trophy. Oh, that's gorgeous. Kathy Doherty. Gosh, you guys are starting a little jewel train at the bottom of the chat. Yeah, I noticed, see the green light that tells me it's on? It's on the side. It's very hard to see unless I go like this. Whereas the other mics, I can just bend down and I can see that not only it's on, but I can see the blue Wi-Fi light. On the other ones, it has the dual lights and they're on the top. So I just go like this. But on this one, because I want the microphone to be closest to my mouth, I don't want it off to the side. I have to look to the side. Oh my gosh. I just had to take somebody out already. Love the elephant. Oh yeah, that's my Goodwill Burbank elephant. Love them. It's a bull elephant. Okay. I'm sure my cat is going to hide. I just heard a very loud firework. And it's hard to tell the direction because I have, only have the window this way and this way, but wow. It's not even July 4th yet, people. They must be starting early. And the bunny, she's not even bothered, which is really cool. She's really chill. Even during an earthquake, she just looks at me like, do I run? Do I hide? And if I tell her to hide, she hides. But if everything's already over and it's okay, then I'm just like, it's okay. And then she's like, okay. Nothing new on Nancy. I talked about that earlier today, but I wanted to possibly correct something because I thought it was strange, even though this is not about Nancy. This is just a test. I'll probably delete it later. Well, maybe not now that I have the gifts. But I thought it was odd that they said he was released into a residential rehab. And I thought I saw on the Tucson news stations, even though I'm not in Tucson, but I saw the clips on the internet that it showed him walking out of court. But I rethought that, and it's like, well, maybe that was video of him walking into court. Because Bruce, who was here earlier, Bruce Davis in the Philippines, said, no, he was escorted by marshals. And that would be federal marshals. That wouldn't be like county marshals, I don't believe. That he was whoa. The bunny is still chill, but wow. We don't really get that in my part of town very often, but it's already booming. Just when the clock struck 9. Jay, yeah, I'm just doing a test on these mics that were sent to me by Sassy Granny. What I do like about them is that they have an app in the phone. They have like 3 different apps you can install, and I can check the battery life, things like that. But I can't really do it while I'm here because I'd have to like go out and come back in, and I might lose the video. Gosh, all of a sudden I was like, I had to remember, like, oh, it's a holiday. Like, what's that? You don't hear it very often around here. The cat's usually terrified, which is kind of good. Not that she's terrified, but at least she'll probably stay in the bedroom right now, and she won't come out and harass the bunny. And the bunny is just getting ready to do a puppy roll. Bunnies hardly ever do that unless they're near death or they're extremely happy and just like, boom, and they do a little flop. So I saw her all stretchy and floppy, and I was like, oh, are you okay? But she's not bothered by the fireworks. Oh, no problem, Jay. You can go ahead and scroll. This is just like, this is not anything about Nancy or anybody else. I just wanted to test these mics. I'll know more when I end this video and I go back and I listen to it. But yeah, I was starting to think about that. Because I didn't like call the guy out and say, oh, that's not true. I just said, oh, I thought I saw him walking out of court. But perhaps that video that was shown was actually him walking in the news, just edited in a way that, they were walking out. It was probably like KVOA or some trash channel like that. I don't know. Because I thought, well, how are they going to know if he checks in, if it's court ordered, Good night, Jane Rice. I'd like to know that. Did anybody, because I wasn't there, and I haven't listened to the YouTubers that were there, did anybody see him walking out of court? Because I saw the parents, I saw the lawyer, but I saw him walking either in or out. Was he just released fully to walk out by himself and he had so many hours to get himself checked in? Or was, because it was a court order, was he, escorted by law enforcement to wherever they were going to put him? Nanette says, listen to the 12 minutes that Chris from the interview room did. You know what? I can go to these other channels, but then I don't know what day, what video, what time frame. And I just don't, they've got thousands of hours of video, probably just like I have, and I don't know which one to go to or what time. Now, if somebody can say, hey, go to this day and this time and send it to me in an email, then I can, certainly I can spend 12 minutes to look at that. But yeah, I'd like to know, did he just walk out on his own free will since he was technically released? Or was he not released? Because remember, the news agencies ran with him being given probation, and that didn't happen at all yet because he hasn't been sentenced yet. If anybody can answer that. Onyx Kitty is at the end of my bed tonight. Usually Ash Kitty sleeps at my feet. I figure he had a time frame to check in. Oh, you mean Derek? I was like, what? The kitties had a time frame to check in? That's what I thought, because they said it was a residential treatment requirement. You know, not like it was like, you know, a hospital type of treatment where you're locked in there, like a prisoner, like an inmate. Was watching, he went out a different door, but did he walk out by himself, or was he being escorted by the marshals, as somebody mentioned in my earlier video? I was just curious. You know, did they actually, you know, put him in a police car and drive him there? Or was he allowed to go home to California and check in California and then come back to Tucson in September? You know, hopefully he's being supervised at the very least. I'm just trying to figure that out. I thought I'd just ask while I'm doing the sound test, but so far you guys are telling me you're hearing the mics just fine. Yeah, I wish I had a view of fireworks and I could just go outside with my camera and show you that, but there's no view here. I've got a lot of buildings around me. No, they took him to rehab. Who took him? Jay says it sounds good. Thank you. Well, it always helps to have an extra set, especially with the Amazon ones. They don't last very long and they get crackly after a while. And it's like, wow, they're brand new. And then there's another one in the case, and it's just like my other set as far as size. I can't see my go light very well. It's on the side. Alaska Critter Cam. Hello. Welcome in. I'm just doing a sound check on this. Didn't have time. I had time to, I charged the new mics last night, but I didn't have time to test them. So, you know, it is what it is. We will hear fireworks for a month. Ugh. You know, they're illegal here, but what are they going to do? I mean, you know, we're always very, very dry. And it's because of, you know, it's a fire safety issue here. And if they catch you, they will arrest you. I'm doing okay. I'm just doing my, I'm doing a Rode mic test. This was a gift from a channel member. Probably the marshal, says Mary. Juanita was in the courtroom. Is Juanita the lady that got the ticket in the neighborhood, in Nancy's neighborhood, because she was in a no parking zone or something? Is that the same person? Yes, okay. Like I said, I don't watch the other YouTubers that much just because I don't have time. But I started rethinking about, because I listened back to my live from earlier and I thought, you know, maybe I'm wrong perhaps about maybe that news channel that showed the clip of him walking out, maybe that was him walking in and they just, you know, it was a bad edit that made me think, well, how did he just walk out the door? You know, so much conflicting information. Oh, it's 12:09 a.m. where Jay is. It's 9 o'clock here. Well, 9:09 now, but there's been fireworks going off for the last 9 minutes. Uh-oh. Wow, they must be doing like, oh my God, that was a lot. Rabbit is still chill. She's a, wow, she's a total ball. Or a loaf bunny. No sign of a cat. They changed her ticket to public nuisance. Okay, well, hopefully it's a lesser fine than what apparently was a pretty large ticket. It's ridiculous. All these YouTubers getting arrested for, having their feet on the ground or whatever, doing things that they weren't accused of. Now, Alex, it did get a little violent, and it got, slurs were being thrown, but even he has had his charges reduced. But yet, a guy who's an already previously convicted criminal was reported to have walked out the door yesterday, and I don't think it was that simple. Nanette says her cat used to hide under the bed. Marcy, welcome. Just doing a sound check on the new mics. I was just going to go for 5 or 10 minutes, but I've already had a couple super chats thrown my way. Or not super chats, but jewels. Totally not necessary. I had plenty this afternoon and yesterday afternoon. Special, hello. So yeah, these are the new Rode mics sent to me by a channel member. She bought them off my Amazon wish list. And I really like that they have an app. So before I go on the air, I can check them on the app to see what charge level they have. I think they charge for a pretty long time, so that's good if I'm out in the field. And apparently, even if you're out in the field and you forget the transmitter, which is plugged into the phone, you can somehow go onto one of their apps and use the transmitter that way, that's kind of nice. But I always keep the mics and the transmitter together in the case, so that shouldn't be an issue. Yes, and his was canceled before court. They called Alex at home. The night crowd, what can I say? Yeah, I don't even have a thumbnail for this because this is not about anything. This is just a sound check. Good morning, where are you coming in from? It's still Friday night in Cali. Mary says dismissed. Yeah, if you want to see anything about Nancy, just go to today's live. It's in the video tab. Well, no, it's on the live tab. Don't send messages yelling at me going, April, the chat is not working. Fix your chat. Oh my God. I'm telling you, YouTube is really, it makes me laugh some of the time, some of the things that happen. Things I never expected. No hearing at all. Oh, for who? For Alex? Or for Juanita? Yeah, I just hope that when the hearing from yesterday was over with Derek, that he was actually escorted to his rehab and not just let to walk out the door as it appeared he did so on the local news. Yes, Alex, okay. Well, let's just pray that things go just as well for the juice. Cali Girl on Fire. Just doing a sound check. That's why I don't have my green screen on, and as I was sitting here, I heard some pre-fireworks going off, whoa. I'm from Los Angeles special. Yeah, go check out the channel. Like I said, this is sound checking the new mics. I mean, I did a test before I came on the air, and I could hear myself, but the real test is actually going to be now when I'm going live, and then when the show ends, or not the show, but when this video ends, when the live stream ends, to be more exact, I'll be able to go back and listen to it and see if there were any issues. Jay says, I'm going to go to sleep so I can go someplace if Roger is in the mood. Okay. We'll go someplace good. Yeah, I heard that. Mary says he has one more hearing from when they arrested him at his house in later July. Yeah, that was ridiculous, that one. But you know, when you're out there dancing around in a urine tent and, you know, looking like a jackass, you know, it's just kind of disrespectful to Nancy and the whole situation to be being silly like that. Hello, everyone. 5-5 on the sound here. Thank you. And I'm surprised as many people have come in just to test the mics. Rabbit she is still chilled through the fireworks. Now, if they were like right outside my door, she probably wouldn't be, but they were far enough away where it didn't bother her. But no sign of the kitty. That might actually be nice. The next couple nights, she'll give the bunny a break from harassment because she'll be hiding from the fireworks. What breed of bunny is she? She's a Dutch bunny. You can see her on my channel. She's on my channel a lot. You just have to go to the playlist. Her name is Amelia Kensley Bunny. And she's super bright. Mary says, I just hope that sheriff gets out of there. Yeah, me too. It's not looking good for the case now that the FBI just announced this week that the Pima County Sheriff's is still the lead agency in the Nancy Guthrie case. So if they're the lead investigative agency, it's not looking good. You know, I was feeling pretty positive earlier this week, like, wow, lots coming out. Lots happened in the last few days. Maybe something's getting ready to break. And now I just feel like we're kind of back where we started. Hopefully I'm wrong. But some of the YouTubers on the ground, you know, the boots on the ground, they've been saying that for months. Like, oh, I just know today's going to be the day, or this week's going to be the week. And here we are, 5 months and 3 days. That's just too long, 153 days. Does anybody know if Savannah came back to the Today Show this week? Because I heard that she was off Monday and they didn't mention why. And then there's all these rumors that NBC wants her to take a leave of absence. Has she been gone all week? Or did she come back like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and today? Does anybody know? Because I haven't watched the show in years. Yes, she was gone, or yes, she came back. Nanette says, will do. My granddaughter has a Dutch bunny she fostered then adopted. Foster fail, yep. Well, the cat just came out, but she's looking kind of suspicious, like, well, what's going on? Hey, you want to jump? Come over here. Jump. Come here. Oh, she looks a little sleepy, and then she got scared a little bit because there were some boom booms. She's like, what is that? Yeah, she doesn't like to be held. See that sourpuss look? I hate you. Let go. She was off a day and did a cooking show. Oh, on Monday, but she came back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I just figured it was another work commitment or something. Then, you know, it starts all the rumor mill again, like, oh, Savannah's gone and she's on a plane to Tucson. And I'm like, I don't think so. She was absent 2 days. Okay, like Monday and Tuesday? I just figured it was a, you know, another professional commitment or something. I don't think it had anything to do with the case and everything that it started, coming out in the press as of last, was it Friday and Saturday? I figured it was something like that. How did she look when she came back? Does she look okay? Hey, Quentin Broom. I'm just testing my new Rode mics that were sent to me by Sassy Granny. So I'm doing a sound test. I already did my video earlier today, Quentin, if you missed it, regarding the Nancy Guthrie case. Yeah, Nanette, if you want to see the videos, just go to, I think it's called Animals or something, one of the playlists. There's like zoo videos in there. There's Kelsa videos in there. There's Amelia Kinsley Bunny videos in there. Yeah, I don't know how all these crazy rumors get started. Like, oh, she's on a plane to Tucson because, the case is breaking. And there's just things that are leaking to the press, but not necessarily that the case is breaking. Looking like a very healthy PI. Still here. Any day when you're not 6 feet under is a good day. Thank you, Al. He says happy 4th. Yeah, it's still the 3rd here in California. Did my video earlier today if you guys missed it. Mary says, when it gets too much for her and upsetting, she has her co-host take over for her. Yes, absolutely. That's why, even though this is just about a sound test, I asked a question earlier about, was Colella, was he escorted out of court by the marshals like one of my viewers said, or was he just released as the news falsely reported? The same news media that said, oh, he got rehab and 5 years of probation. Like it was a done deal. Like, well, he hasn't even been sentenced yet. Like, huh? And then some people were writing back to me in the comments like, are you stupid, lady? Like, I mean, they didn't say that, but I'm like, hey, I'm not stupid, but I know how the court works, and it all doesn't just happen in one hearing, like even when you plead guilty, like there's still sentencing hearings and follow-ups and, like, why was it reported as such? And then, they showed him walking out the door, but yet that could have been video of him walking into court, because somebody here earlier on another video that I did earlier today on a live stream said, oh, he was escorted out the door by federal marshals. I mean, hopefully he went straight to the rehab clinic. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Oh, is that what it was in Monopoly? I haven't played since I was a kid. Go straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. But I am shocked that, let's just see what happens in September before I tell everybody how shocked I am. But, someone who's a prior convicted criminal and a dirtbag, I think they need to throw the book at this guy. I mean, that's just a hideous crime. And like I said earlier in my video, if you haven't seen it, I still have questions because, if you're going to send a text ransom to somebody for Bitcoin, don't you think you would at least give those people your Bitcoin address? I mean, don't mention Nancy, don't mention a kidnapping, don't mention a crime, just, hey, how about my Bitcoin? I'd like to complete the transaction. Like, huh? Something still rotten in Denmark. Okay, Mary says, I was watching, he didn't come out. Monica, I don't know who that is, was walking out next to his mom as she came out. Okay, Cali Girl on Fire says, because he tested positive for drugs, he was ordered to go straight to the rehab facility per Google. I hope so. I mean, I mentioned earlier, there's people here that serve time in county jail for whatever crimes they committed. And or while they're being detained until they have their court appearances. And even once they get released on those charges, a lot of them, they don't just let them out onto the streets. Then they go to a court-ordered rehab, and it's not a voluntary choice. It's like, okay, you've spent this much time in jail, and now we've released you for this crime, but now you go to the next step and you go to rehab for the next year, and you're not getting out until we say you are, like. So when the news kind of showed that, oh, he was just walking out the door, I was like, what? She is a reporter. Okay. I was just like, what's going on? Yes, he went straight to rehab. So nobody actually saw him walk out the door like they showed on the news. That must have been him walking into court and not out of court as falsely reported. Nanette says, Cali girl, that really makes sense. If he tested positive for meth, they'd keep him in custody. I would sure hope so. This is a sound test. Remote viewer says, love you, Sister April Davis. Well, I love everybody here. Thanks for coming. I got 24 people in the house tonight, and I'm just doing a sound test. I already did a video. I did a live stream earlier today on Nancy Guthrie on day number 153, and we talked more about the Derek Colella situation. So if you haven't had your fill of true crime today, you can always go watch that. And then, when this is done, I'm going to listen back to it. And I was just going to delete it, but, now somebody threw me, 350 joules. I guess I have to keep it up. Hello, Lawrence. Yes, he ran into court. I watched his mom walk into the courthouse with a man. Yeah, I heard that it was his parents. I haven't seen any of the videos from that day, except for what I saw here on the internet, that it was from like local news stations there in Tucson. I can't do a Google search now. I'm doing a live stream. This is a sound check. Sound test. And if you watch this on the replay, Sassy Granny, thank you. She's on the East Coast, so she's probably already in bed. Oh, Mary says she watched the whole thing. I got better things to do, Lawrence. Quentin Broom says, I think in California it has to be a court-ordered duration of rehab. Otherwise, the Reagan-adopted term limit of rehab was cut into shorter time periods, which is sad and favors addicts getting out. Oh, never heard of that. But I do see it all the time with, cases that I'm working where, people get, they go to jail, but yet they don't necessarily get transferred to prison. They're just in county, and then when that is up, instead of being released out the front door, they are released to a court-ordered facility. I don't know who that is, Mike. So I would assume the facility is in Tucson, because I had also heard that after his case was transferred from Santa Ana, California to Tucson, Arizona, that he already had to be somewhere like in Pima County with an ankle bracelet, but I don't know if that's true either, because there's been so much misreporting about this. It's amazing that we're into the start of the 6th month now, and the only person that I know of that's ever been arrested in this whole 3-ring circus regarding Nancy actually is Derek Colella. I'm not, excluding the YouTubers that were arrested for, being in the neighborhood. But this is the only person that was arrested that had something to do, you know, with the case, even if he had nothing to do with the actual, kidnapping, and he was just, a prankster. But I still find it weird that somebody would, text and call personal cell phone numbers and say, hey, what about my Bitcoin? And we're waiting to complete the transaction. But yet there was no mention of Nancy, a kidnapping, a crime, where to put the Bitcoin, where to send the money, how to get a hold of me, Seems a little suspicious to me. Yes, Nanette says, there has been so much hearsay information involving this case. Yes. Mary also heard about the ankle bracelet. But I saw a clip yesterday on YouTube, and it was one of the news organizations that was showing him walking out of court. And that's why when Bruce came in today from the Philippines, Bruce Davis, no relation to me, and said, oh no, he was taken out by the marshals. I was like, huh? So if he comes in later or he watches this, or I'll just mention it to him next time he comes in for a Nancy Guthrie video and say, hey, you may have been right, my friend, because apparently he wasn't just allowed to walk out the door. Hey, Joss. Yeah, just here doing a sound test, but, I got my usual friends in here, and we talked a little bit about Nancy, but I already did my video earlier today. And we had some fireworks outside. Bunny she's eating and doing her thing. She was all floppy, and then she was a loaf bunny. She didn't bother her a bit, which is good because, she's a very high-strung bunny. Okay, he said he was looking on the internet and he was drugged up, so he found the number and made the call. Oh, I missed it, Joss. I looked up at the TV. It says she sent a flower. Thank you. I'm sorry. I missed a lot of the ball game tonight. And they're all congratulating each other. They must have won at the last moment because it wasn't looking good earlier. Oh yeah, they did win 4-3. I was busy testing the mics because I was charging them last night, and I'm like, I just got to get to this before my next live over the weekend. I got to just get this done. April, remember it said he used a voice alter device. Oh, I hadn't heard that. Why would you do that if you didn't know Tommaso and Annie? Well, I just thought it was strange that he was like, hey, what about my Bitcoin? I'm waiting to complete the transaction, as if he was talking to parties that he already knew that he was conducting a business transaction with. But he didn't say, hey, this is where I need my Bitcoin deposited, or this is where, here's my Bitcoin address, or this is the number you can contact me at, or this is the email you can contact me at for further information. It was just like, hey, what about my Bitcoin? I'm waiting to complete the transaction. That was the end of the message. And it went to both Annie and Tommaso. And then someone within the family, and I've heard that it was Annie, but, we won't know that for sure unless it actually comes out in his trial. A family member then received a 9-second phone call. But I don't think she was like, hey, let me grab a pen and paper and write that address down. Callie Girl says, at Nanette, if he was paid to do it. Yeah, remember, we don't know that the other ransom notes are even valid. Remember, there's dissension in the FBI. But this is not a Nancy Guthrie video, folks. This is just me testing my Rode mics. And then I'm going to play it back to myself. And I'm going to see if I can hear it. Kind of slap of the hand. It's still a crime. No, he heard about case and took a chance at it. I hope that's what it is and not something more. Especially since they have the same band promoter. He has the same band promoter as Tommaso, DJ Mojito, and, Early Black and Secret Mutilator. They play the same type of dark, creepy, gothy music, and they play in the same clubs, but, hey, they don't know each other. It's all a coincidence. Everything's a coincidence in this case. I don't buy coincidences as a PI. I've been an investigator for too long. Coincidences usually aren't coincidences. They usually mean something. Remember, he was drugged. It's all weird. It just goes along with the rest of this case, doesn't it? It's all weird. It's, I'm beginning to think it's another John Bonet. God forbid. Here we are. This Christmas, it'll be 30 years. Apparently, that's why my neighbor, who I just heard about yesterday, is going to be playing Patsy in The Murder of John Bonet Ramsey on Netflix. It's coming out in the winter because they're going to release it around the time, supposedly, of the 30th anniversary, which is this coming Christmas. Yeah, I certainly can't be on here for the next 30 years. I'll be long gone. Are they going to retry him, or is he done? He's not done until he goes to a sentencing hearing. There was no trial. He did a guilty plea. Mary says, yes, we'll probably never find her. So sad. The truth must prevail. Gosh, I wish I was working this case. My lords and ladies, I must prevail. I cannot fail, because I spy. Oh, who sent the gift? Oh, stay hydrated. Does this count? A&W Zero Sugar? That's the only thing I have in front of me right now. Thank you, Connie. Yeah, and I got your messages that you missed today's live, but that's okay. You can always see it on the playback. Just be careful, though, if anybody's offended by a curse word or two, because I did slip a couple, and I feel very bad about it. I have to remind myself that I'm on a public YouTube channel, but, I feel like all you guys are my friends, and I can just, it spews out sometimes, and I'm like, oops. But you know what? You've got people like Megan Kelly and, some of the friends on JLR Investigate, some of the bigger people are like saying the word sometimes. And they're still on, but still, I don't want to be that way. I adore the little turtle too. Thank you, Nanette. Yeah, I don't even have my buzzer tonight because this is just a sound check. But I guess I got to keep it now. Joss says, we are your friends. Thank you. You can never have enough friends. Quentin, stuck on Drunk Turkey, said he knows two things, and one of which will get the porch guy caught eventually. I don't know who Drunk Turkey is. Is that a YouTube channel? I do still think I know possibly who the front porch guy is. And if it's not him, then I'm still extremely confident that the person that it could be is still involved in this case. And there's reasons that I can't go into. I obviously can't say who I think it might be. And I'm not 100% because I'm not investigating the case. But I have my ideas on who front porch guy could be and who the getaway driver could be. That's interesting. Said he knows two things, and one of which will get the porch guy caught eventually. The FBI, they don't even take your calls. If you don't know where the body is, they don't want to talk to you. Oh, he's a very experienced detective and guest of DT? Who is DT? Oh, Drunk Turkey. Okay. Never heard of it before. Is he a police detective or a private detective? This Steve person? See, there's another channel I've never heard of. But I'm glad all you guys are letting me know. And if you guys say, oh, I need you to watch this video and it's 4 hours long, or I don't know which video it is, just send me an email and say, go watch this person at this time. Now, the other day I had somebody come into the channel and said, hey, that somebody else is getting ready to come live. Everybody go with us. You know, no, that's not cool. But you guys want to send me an email or, you know, say, hey, I'm shouting this person out and, you know, go see this video this day, this time. You can, you know, because I ask you guys questions like, can anybody answer this question? And sometimes you guys can. Connie says, in my opinion, it is family involvement and not just A&T. In my opinion, there is a deep cover-up. Anything is possible in this bizarro case. My email is aprildavispi@gmail.com. Everything's on the main channel page. The email, the mailing address, the links. Oh, DT Show with sunglasses is he's former police. It's a former police channel? Drunk Turkey Show. Okay, never heard of it. Well, I hope whoever it is, he can call the tips into the FBI. Couldn't hurt. Yeah, this Derek guy, he got me. I dropped a couple bad words today because I just think, you know, the guy should be in handcuffs right now. They can send him to rehab later, but he should be in a cell. Yes, I did. Multiple times. It's just the lighting. They don't look that way in person. But feel free to send me that whitener. I have it on the YouTube wish list. Steve was CSI and now has a true crime channel and doing cases too. Oh, interesting. Great. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I hope he's called the FBI. Or, you know, I finally sent a letter. Another FBI agent told me to do that. He says you might have a better chance of, you know, being heard if you send a letter. And so I did. Don't worry about it, Nanette. Wow, I'm up to 640 in joules, and this is just a test. Hey, buddy, you need a treat? Come here. Let me get you some treat. This is her oat groat. This is, see that? It's just like little seeds. She has a few a day. Just a smidge. It's her bunny crack. I think motive means op true crime intuition. Knows where her body is. Who is op true crime intuition? Yeah, she's my little sweetheart. It's the only time I can really touch her well, you know. I'd love to feel her soft little body and her little cottontail on her ears. Oh, she's so cute. But she had a traumatic life. Both the cat, and the cat didn't come from a traumatic background at all, but she doesn't like to be handled. She doesn't like to be picked up. This bunny, she's the only bunny I've ever owned that can't be handled, and I'm used to being very cuddly with bunnies and sleeping with bunnies and having them sleep across me when they're babies, and she's just like, don't touch me. But she'll nudge me. She'll come up and nudge me when she needs something. Or she'll look at me like, waitress, hello. She'll like rattle things like. Another tuber, she's a medium. That's interesting. If you listen to all those people, though, the mediums and the spirit box readers, they all say different things, even from show to show. I'm still interested in the lady from Texas who did that sketch, the sketch of what porch guy would look like if he wasn't wearing the mask. That's very interesting. The bunny my granddaughter has was treated horribly and is free in the house. Fantastic, Nanette. Yeah, no cages for my bunny. My mom had some bunnies for us when we were kids, and it wasn't our request, it was hers. And then they lived in these hutches and in these cages, and we let them out often, but that's not a way to house a bunny. That's cruel. Would you put your family member in a cage? I'm very opinionated on that. That bunnies should, they should not be in cages. Now, when they're babies, they do have to be in a confined space at night. Just because they can get into the walls and be gone when they're, this big. It's like a newborn baby. You can't just throw it out there, She's litter trained. Yep, mine is too. She was trained that way before I got her. But if she wasn't, I could have taught her in a day. There is a plastic mask under the outside mask. I've heard that lately. I don't know. I want to know who Front Porch Guy is. Because I think if one of the yahoos, one of the goons at the scene, gets turned in by somebody, they're going to have a less better chance. They need to turn themselves in and say, listen, I'm going to cut a deal. And, here's what I know and who did, it's all going to come out. And I love the idea that Mark Garagos has regarding ransom note writer number 3 that's wrote a dozen or more notes to TMZ. And they're just begging and pleading, no, I really know something and I know who did it. And, get yourself a good lawyer and get a deal worked out, dude. Get some of the reward money, get a deal worked out. You don't need to be extorting people for Bitcoin. You really know something? Go get the reward. Go get yourself immunity. Have it worked out where you can remain anonymous to turn the people who are responsible in. Somebody came in the other day and said, aren't you worried if the perps are listening to you and you're telling them how to get away with it? I'm like, I never told anybody how to get away with it. I've said this several times. If anybody connected to this case is listening, to turn yourself in. It's better to turn yourself in now than for them to arrest you later and you have no chance. And you get the chair or the needle. What a horrible way to go. Yes, Nanette says, first to talk gets the best deal. Absolutely, Nanette. Good night, Jewel. Thanks for coming in just for the sound test. I shouldn't be on this long just for this sound test because I am going to have to re-listen to at least some of it. Do I still sound like I'm coming through loud and clear? Does it sound just as good as the other mics? It should be better, actually, I hope. I'm being very gentle with them because I don't want them to be disturbed. And, of course, I have to hide them from Bunny. I was charging my phone tonight and the cord was hanging under the coffee table. I was like, oh my God. That's the only charging cord I have for the new iPhone 17 that's not paid for, that needs 3 years worth of payments, And I've already lost 2 of the pieces that I ordered for, 2 of the accessories. So I'm like, oh my gosh, don't let her get anywhere near the cords. Because she loves her some spicy hay. She's so happy. She's not even scared when she heard those fireworks. The cat's still acting a sketch, but she's so cool. She's so chill. Annie and Tommaso have been gone a month? God, it seems like forever. Seems like longer than that. Where are they? Where are you, Annie and Tommaso? Show your faces. Don't cover up with the hoodie and your hands in front of your faces, showing deceit, deception, and shame. Even if you're innocent in this, your body language is not cool. It's going to make 85% of the world think that you did something, even if you didn't, because of your body language. What's wrong with you? Savannah's not doing that. Cameron didn't do that. Probably in Italy. I'm starting to think that. Oh, I missed the Grand Slam. That's how they won. I'll have to look at the stats later. Oh my gosh. Never say die when it comes to the Dodgers. Annette says she has a feeling they are in Italy. Yeah, I heard that they used to go every summer, but you hear all kinds of things. Are you in France? Irena in France. Oh my God! On my live today, besides my usual audience from the United States, I had Canada, I had Israel, I had Norway, I had Iceland, and the Philippines, and there was like 10 super chats, only one of which was from the United States, and then the others were from Israel, Canada, and I received something. It was called Norwegian Krones. I think that's what they were called, Norwegian Krones. I was just like, oh wow, like what symbol is that? And I'd never seen that denomination before. I think they're only worth like a dime, like US dollar wise, but still it was just like, oh, that's so cool. Because I can add that to my list of Indian rupees, British pounds, like it's just so cool. It's just so neat to see people coming in from all over the world. And then I mentioned Iceland, and right after I mentioned that, a couple from Germany who retired to Iceland came in. I think their names were Thor and Gretel. It was just, I couldn't pronounce their username though, because supposedly it was written in German. Just amazing. It was the middle of the night there, when it was this afternoon here. But so thank you from France, if that's where you're coming in from, Irena. Mary says, school is out and the heat is on them. Well, from what I'm hearing, school's been out all year for Tommaso, if you can believe that. He's not even, listed on the roster of the school anymore where he used to work. And this was before the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. So what's that about? A lot of red flags here. We're trying to make this so complicated because it's in the 6th month, but this case probably really isn't complicated at all. It's going to be, back to where I said it was, and we're going to be back at square one, and when it all comes out, it's going to be like, yep. It's just, it may turn out to be another JonBenet Ramsey situation because of the imbeciles at the Pima County Sheriff's Department. And that's on you, Nanos. It's nice that gifts go through tubes. Tubes of you? So the funds are exchanged. Yeah, it is cool. And I did hear a rumor that the members that join, if they're international, that their rates are going to be going up in like August. But their rates aren't going up like if you join in the US and you're already like locked into like, minus like $4.99 a month. Like that won't change for like 12 months or something, but we'll see what happens. Oh, it's YouTube backwards. Oh, you must suffer from dyslexia like I do when I get on YouTube. It's nice the gifts go through YouTube so the funds are exchanged. Yes. It was so messed from the beginning. Absolutely. Within the first 20 to 30 hours, Mary. Absolutely. Same thing happened in the Ramseys within the first hours. On December 26th, the case was already toast. And with it being 30 years later and so many people being dead now, justice will never be served. I don't care what you hear on these movies or these docuseries or on the internet or on Facebook or YouTube, like, oh, they're getting ready to solve the case. They have new evidence. No, they don't. Glad I got rid of the tacky background. What are you doing back today? You're in timeout. Oh. Okay, well, I've already gone an hour and it's just a test. So, everybody, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. And hopefully, the mics will sound as good to me as they did to you. Once again, thanks, Sassy Granny. I can always use another set of mics. Thank you. This is now I'm good. I'm good for a long time with mics, hopefully. Good night.